Hello everyone, I am Bharti from Gyaniketan Girls School. Today in this video, I am going to present the question answers of Unit 4 titled So What Are You Anyway from your course book GULMOHAR. The questions that I am going to discuss now, they are extract based and have been given in the section titled Understanding the Text. The first extract, it is a sentence. What are you anyway? The referred paragraph is 46. In paragraph 46, this statement has come. The first question based on it is, what did the Nortons want to know about Carol? The answer is, the Nortons were curious about Carol's ethnic origin. They wanted to find out what her racial identity was. The second question is, what do you think is problematic with the question? Does the word what make a person seem less than human, and how? The answer is, the question is deeply connected with the prejudice of white race superiority and supports racial discrimination. The question discriminates between races and is asked in a derogatory manner. Yes, it makes the other person feel less than human and ranked lower and inferior. The way the question is asked by Mr. Norton and the body language that he uses while conversing with Carol make her feel very uncomfortable. The third question is there any word or phrase in para 32 that does the same thing? Yes, in this answer, you can quote the lines given in para 32. I don't mind them mixed, but the world isn't ready for it. They are neither one thing nor the other. This indicates the same thing. Now, the second part of this section answer these questions about Carol. The first question is, does Carol understand the terms race and mulatto? No, she doesn't. She is totally ignorant of the word race, but from the tone of the Nortons, she could deduce that it is something bad. She had not heard of the word mulatto either. She is taken aback when she is asked whether she is a mulatto or not. She fumbles and asks what the word means. Second question is, when Carol first sees the Nortons, does she identify them as white-skinned? What is the word she uses to describe Mr. Norton? Now the referred paragraph is 2. The answer is no. She doesn't identify them as white-skinned. She uses the word sunburned to describe Mr. Norton. Third question. Do you think Carol understands color of skin or race as a major difference between people? No, she doesn't. Carol is too young and too innocent to be able to comprehend the various unethical criteria that are used to differentiate and discriminate among the people living in the world. The third section. In this section, the questions are about the Nortons. The first question is, what is the first thing Mr. Norton notices about Carol? The first thing Mr. Norton notices about Carol was her black doll. He exclaimed that he had never seen anything like that in his entire life. The second question is, in para 32, Mrs. Norton says that the world is not ready for mixed people, though she doesn't mind them. Do you think she is being honest about her feelings? How do we know? The answer is yes. Mrs. Norton is honest about her feelings for mixed people because she doesn't mind Carol as much as Mr. Norton does. She is generous and kind. She cares for Carol. She keeps reminding Mr. Norton that she is just a small girl. She asks Mr. Norton to wake up the girl for the meal and urges him on another occasion to make way for Carol when she gets up to go to the bathroom. Thus, we can conclude that, in comparison to her husband, Mrs. Norton was more liberal. The next question is, what do you think is the difference between Carol and the Nortons in the way they approach people? Do they treat everyone equally? Now, the answer is Carol and the Nortons stand totally different in the way they approach people. For Carol, all people are equal. She is totally unaware of the terms race and ethnic identity. She doesn't differentiate between black and white. She is so innocent that the color of his skin doesn't matter to her. On the contrary, the Nortons differentiate and discriminate people on the basis of race and consider the non whites to be inferiors. With this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.